Yes, you've read this correctly. This is a paid indicator from Dan and his supercoders over at Stonehill Forex. Now, if we're talking about a paid indicator on this channel, must be good, right? It is. Quite good, actually. It's the ETDI, the Early Trend Detection Index. Full disclosure, I am not tied to this thing in any way. I make no money, but Stonehill Forex is really the reason why the indicator profile series even exists in the first place. So when they come out with a paid product like this, I am more than happy to show it to you. And then we will resume our regularly scheduled programming with the free indicators right after this. And by right after this, I mean like in 2 weeks like we normally do. You know how it goes. So I know this won't be for everybody, but it will certainly be for some of you. So let's go ahead and begin. If for some reason you're new, just know that this is the #1 indicator channel in all of YouTube. It's always been that way. It will always be that way. But a lot of what we talk about and what we do is not going to make sense to you if you haven't gone through the no-nonsense Forex system. So what you need to do is go right here and read that first page and watch that video and get yourself started and get yourself caught up. It is very much worth it. But I will assume most of you have already done that, and let's go ahead and get into the specs for the ETDI. It was created this year. It's a confirmation indicator. Now the subtype is going to be strictly a histogram. They felt like this was the best way to provide a clear signal. You're going to see it in a moment. And can this be used as an exit indicator? Yes, it is. It was partially coded to be one of these as well. So let's take a look at it. It's going to involve a little bit of explanation here. Sorry the histogram is not bigger, but it is nice and bright. So what's going to happen here is when you get the first bar in a new color, so if it's green, obviously that is your signal to go long. If it is pink, that is your signal to go short. Now, why are there other bars after it? Well, it's part of the coding, but it's one of those things too, and I've gotten a lot of questions on this in the past. If the rest of your algorithm hasn't quite caught up and you miss the first signal, it will give you other signals. This is the indicator telling you, hey, this is still a signal to get in if you want, if the rest of your algorithm has caught up. These indicators are specifically made for no-nonsense Forex traders that way. So if you ever have the question, is it still okay for me to get in? This is telling you yes. When it's black, it's telling you no. And when it switches over, that is either your exit signal and or a signal to start going short. Now, if you don't want to see a lot of these after bars because they cause too much confusion, or you just don't like looking at them, there is a setting on the indicator where you can change that. And the blog goes over this. So you can really play it two different ways as an entry indicator. You can only pay attention to the first and ignore everything else, or you can actually pay attention to the green candles, for example, or you can actually pay attention to the candles after it and decide if you want to come in at a later time. The option is there. It's simply an option, nothing more. But the color change is what you really want to focus on. And just so you know, for the purpose of measurement, when you see the results in just a moment, it's that very first color change signal which is getting measured, not the bars after it. Now, I would ask, too, in the comments section that you don't ask too many questions about this. There will be a place for you to go and ask them. Like I said, with the regular indicator profile series, I usually have hand in some of the indicators we show. With this one, I just don't. I've officially, at this point, told you everything I know about the mechanics of the indicator itself. So at this point, let's do something a little different. Let's go straight into the results, and then I'll say a couple more things about it towards the end. But we will start with the Euro USD, and this is on the very, very high side, obviously. Almost 14%, healthy amount of signals per year, high win-loss ratio. This is what our traders care about the most, Forex pairs, that is, and they recognize that. Forex pairs were their main measuring stick when creating a custom indicator like this. Now, it just so happens to work really well on gold, too. Over 20% is extremely high for what we've been seeing lately. A lot more signals, healthy win-loss ratio. So you can just run this right into your metals trading as well and do quite well, most likely. On to the S&P, the great widowmaker, especially recently. Not here, though. over 10%. We've been really struggling with having a good amount of signals for indices traders. Again, not here. 27 is a lot of signals compared to what we've been seeing lately. We've had as little as 5 or 6, to the point to where I'm like, guys, I can't even show this indicator. Nobody's going to want to put an algorithm on top of that to where you're only getting 2 or 3. But again, not a problem here. This is, as far as backtesting wise, an excellent indicator all the way through. Until you get to Bitcoin. It does underperform on Bitcoin. 11% is under the average we've been seeing in Bitcoin lately. But when the other 3 perform as well as they do here, then who cares? Just use something else for Bitcoin. Now, just know this will run a bit different than the indicator profile series programs we have run here in the past. You're going to really want to go to the blog before you buy. If anything, when you do buy, you're going to want to see what the optimized settings are. They're going to have them right there for you. And you will have the direct link to go buy the product. So we're not going to have a link to the indicator library because it's not going to be there. So instead, I'll just provide a direct link to the sales page at the very top if you just want to buy directly, but I would still go to the blog at some point because you should always know what you're buying. They wanted me to mention as well that this is an MT4 indicator. And if you are interested in having an MT5 or TradingView version, you can express that interest on a link that is found on the sales page. This is their first one. They don't know where the interest really is yet. So they're releasing this on MT4, and if there's MT5 or TradingView interest, they will consider those routes down the road. Now, the one thing you're not going to be able to do with this, that I always recommend you do with every indicator we show here, is test this in your system. There's just no way to give it to you for free and then have you test it, and then if you like it, be able to buy it later. If there was, they would do it. And it hasn't been forward tested yet. That's going to have to come from you. But with an indicator like this, with backtesting results so far to the right end of the spectrum, this would be something you buy and then build around. You're not concerned with how this does with the other pieces you have. You make this the primary piece, and then you build around it from there and improve on it. And then you forward test that system. Again, completely optional, but I knew this would interest some of you. Some of you have been asking for something like this. A lot of you have been asking me for something like this, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm completely incapable of creating an indicator on my own. Yeah, but they've done it, and this is what it looks like, and this is what it does. But just know, as far as this channel goes, we have everything. We have free indicators, we have paid indicators, we have an entire course on how to do everything involving trading. We have a podcast which goes straight to YouTube on Saturdays, my 10-minute contrarian investing podcast. We have the indicator profile series. We have everything. Subscribe, hit the bell. You don't find anything like this anywhere else. Keep it right here. Keep it locked in. Go get it.